It is Thursday, June 19th or 18th, 2026. I believe it's the 18th. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. That's why I got the numbers confused. And I just moved the sheep here. We skipped the cow row. You can see that this is where the cows were. Moved the sheep up here. Yesterday I moved the cows to the northernmost part of the pasture. They're between about 200 and 250 feet from the north edge there. This is about 50 to 100 feet south of the middle line, where the sheep are at. The sheep had gotten out all over the pasture. They were going backwards, I think because they didn't want to go under the wire to graze the ground that had already been grazed by the cows. So this is the wire that I had set up for the cows. It's just a single wire. It's way too high for the sheep. I've been out here for a while, and I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be lazy here and do an experiment. I doubt the sheep are gonna cross this wire. I did want to set up 3 wires, but that's a lot of work, and it's humid out here. It's not hot, but it's humid. I was out here about 6:30, 6:45. I was like, okay, let's move the rams, because the rams hadn't been moved for 5 days. I'm supposed to move them every 2 or 3 days, but I didn't move them for 5 days. And I'm like, okay, let's get to work. I started moving, and I just started getting drenched in sweat. And there's not a dry spot on my body right now. Everything's soaking wet, to the point I can't even wipe my forehead off with my sleeve anymore. It just makes it more wet. It's just drenched in sweat. Am I complaining a little bit? But this is how stuff grows. Is you need the warmth, you need the sunlight, you need the humidity. It all works together. And I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but I surmise that the Garden of Eden conditions that Adam and Eve existed in were probably something like this, if not warmer. Very humid, very, very hot climate, so that everything can grow. That's where it seems the earth grows the best, is where it's hot and humid. And most of my European brethren, ancestors, they grew up in a very northerly climate. And this is something that my brother pointed out to me. He's like, he pointed out that England is actually further north, I believe, than the vast majority of the continental U.S. And France itself, I think, spans like the northern half of the continental U.S. So most of the United States is south of the European continent. And so that's why we get the warm, humid weather that isn't really common in Northern Europe. And they get a short growing season. We get a very long growing season. You can see that sheep there. She's going straight after the Bermuda grass. She's skipping the goatweed. She almost grabbed the goatweed leaf there. But yeah, this is goatweed. In this area of the world, it's like the worst weed ever. Everybody hates it. They're trying to get rid of it. They're spending lots of money to get rid of it. And I've just decided to leave it alone. I don't really have an issue with it. I haven't seen it cause severe problems. One of my friends mentioned that the goatweed uses the water that the grass would have used, but in the middle of a drought, I had part of my pasture was completely just covered thick with goatweed, and underneath was grass about as thick as what that sheep is eating right now, and then underneath the grass was damp soil in the middle of a drought. So somehow the goatweed had caused the soil to go damp. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm in the middle of the drought with damp soil, then it's certainly not something that I'm gonna shake my fist at the sky about. So let the goatweed grow. Besides, it doesn't do too well where the grass goes well. So this brown stuff here, this is dock, I believe. The seeds of the dock plant. The leaves are all gone. The animals love those leaves. Besides, in the warm temperatures here, the leaves, it just dies. It just goes to seed and dies. And let's see what else we can see here. There's not a lot that actually grows in the warm. There's these like lily pad type things. I don't know what that is. But there's a jet airplane. I can't see it because of the clouds. Yeah, taking off from the airport nearby. But anyway, there's not a lot. It's not as diverse as it is in springtime. There's not a lot of legumes that grow in the summer, and I don't know if that's just because there's not a lot. There's some perfectly fine clover right here. Beautiful clover. There's a bunch more here. You know, mid-June clover, I'm happy. I remember the first year I did this mid-June, everything was brown, black, just dead. I didn't get hardly any growth that first year. And then the second year, same kind of thing. Very, very bad drought. Back-to-back droughts for the past 5 years. I think we're still in abnormally dry conditions, which is D1. And I think they expect to lift the drought conditions. This next week, we're expecting rain pretty much every day. And I am happy for it. I'm super excited to see all that rain come in. So many lambs. I love the colors of the lambs. So somehow I got Barbados, I think, in one of the rams. I was doing some math. The last time I worked with the lambs was in March. I think there was one ram lamb that I didn't get to. I couldn't quite put the band on. Very young ram lamb. I got to get these guys pinned up and I got to band them again. Otherwise they're going to start breeding. So, and I don't want to breed off schedule. And I was thinking of putting rams on in July so that I would get to winter crop of lambs, you know, two lambings, increase production by what? 3 lambings every 2 years instead of 2 lambings every 2 years, so 50% increase in production. But I'm going to hold off. I want to grow my numbers with strong animals that are, you know, born in ideal conditions. Winter is not ideal, not on my farm. No. The best time to be born is right now. So I'm going to do a little better targeting this time next year. So I'll put the rams on probably in early February. So I get my lamb crop in mid-June, which I think is the ideal conditions. I think this is the best. There's just an infinite supply of forage. As good as the ryegrass was, I think there's just more volume of the summer Bermuda grass, and I think it recovers quickly. So I think I could, if I needed to, graze more aggressively, more quickly, and come back to the same spot of ground, and it's already recovered. You know, it recovers very rapidly. And the Bermuda grass tends to grow out before it grows up. So if you see Bermuda grass growing up, it's because it's already grown out. And you can see there's a bunch right there behind that lamb, that sheep there. She's just lying down and eating food like a lazy animal. So anyway, I don't have much else to add. I'm just enjoying the moment here. I'm not in the burning sunshine. It's not 90 degrees outside. It's expected to get 90 today. There's like a heat advisory. I don't think it's because the temperature is going to be high. I think it's because we're going to have high humidity and high temperatures. So it's going to be pretty miserable. Late July and August, we do get higher temperatures, but it tends to be a little drier. So this is probably the worst time of the year in terms of being outdoors and not dying from heat stroke. So, all right, guys, you have a great day. Take care and bye-bye.